Hello everyone, today we are going to be making Nocino, which is an Italian kind of bitters substitute, or if you add sweetener, it can be drank in like little cute tiny shot glasses. We're going to be adding the sweetener just because I'm not a huge fan of bitters. But we're going to make it out of this here black walnut. Well, not the leaves, but the fruits way up high the trees, the actual walnuts. What's going to be really fun is we're going to be taking this plant that's known for its toxicity in its juglone chemical that it produces, and we're going to be making something edible and delicious and kind of good for you too. So this is our black walnut tree where we will be harvesting our walnuts from to make this Nocino. And you can identify them by the fact that they have pinnately compound leaves, meaning that each leaf, this whole structure here is a leaf, and they have little leaflets on them. You can see right there in the middle, you can see the nuts. They are accompanied by these beautiful walnuts. So we need to harvest the walnuts. But be very careful with harvesting these, as these walnuts were used as a dye. It rained last night. Another thing you notice, as all that water just fell on me, is that it smells very aromatic. This tree has a wonderful smell, as does the whole of the shells. So if you want to give them a sniff, they smell so good. A very citrusy, clean scent. So juglone is a pretty nasty killing chemical that is produced all throughout the tree, in the leaves, the nuts, the bark, the stem, the branch, even down into the root systems. It is a pretty nasty killer. However, fortunately, it's only a killer if you're a plant. And you can see here down in the understory, the branch or the trunk of the tree is right there. And there's only this invasive grasses and wineberries growing here. It's killing out a lot of the other plants in its root zone. But we drinking stuff produced by the nut, we don't have to worry, because last time I checked, we're not plants. You are going to need the green walnuts for this, not the brown ones that have already fallen, but the ones that are up in the tree that are unripe still. These are the ones that you are going to need to make our Nocino liqueur. Stay tuned for more upcoming in-person and virtual events on my website at www.theartofecology.com. You can also learn more about wild edibles, gardening, foraging for your own wonderful flowers, and more on my blog here. And don't forget to snag a photo print or gift at my shop. A portion of all proceeds is donated back to wildlife conservation and habitat preservation efforts. Thank you so much for all of your support, and now back to my program. Today we are making our Nocino. You can also drink it as like an aperitif or a little like shot glass after dinner, kind of a palate cleanser, and those tend to be sweeter. So we're going to use maple syrup today to sweeten our Nocino. The maple syrup is going to bring out some of the rich natural flavors that it's going to have. So first you're going to want to cut all of the green walnuts that you harvested. Oh Lord, it's already super hard to cut. There we go. You can already see like some, there's what the walnut looks like, and there's some liquid inside of it. Oh, this one's much younger. So you can kind of see the difference between the young and the old. This one is a lot younger. You can see that inner circle hasn't darkened yet. So now the hard part is done. The hard part being cutting those walnuts. We're going to want to take some lemon peel next and get that off. A great way is to use a grater to get some zest off, because you don't want that like white pithy inside. It's definitely a to taste step of if you really like that lemony citrus flavor, then maybe more lemon is better for you. But I would say probably like half of a whole lemon of zest. Now we are going to add our maple syrup. Again, this is all to taste. This point, adding the spices and the syrups, just because you may like it better bitter. Anytime you see bitters in the recipe, you could try to substitute the Nocino for it. But again, if you want that sweeter drink that you would have this liqueur by itself, you want to add the sweetener. Again, the maple syrup is really good to enhance that rich, natural flavor that the black walnuts have. You're also going to want cinnamon. Typically, the cinnamon bark is going to be the best use here, but I'm just going to use the cinnamon powder, the ground cinnamon, and then cloves. You're going to want to stick the whole cloves in. And then last but not least, you are going to want lemon thyme. This is going to add a really nice herbal flavor, and again, because it's lemon thyme, it's going to enhance that citrusy flavor. So I'm just going to, you want like 3 or 4 sprigs, again, depending on how large your jar is. You may want more or less. And you're just going to pull the leaves kind of backwards off of the stem. If you do get some stem in there, don't worry. At the very, very end, you're going to want to strain this. So now this takes about 2 weeks to steep. So definitely think way in advance for this. If you want some of this way in advance, start harvesting the walnuts early. End of June to mid-July, depending on where you live and what your climate is like, is going to be when you want to pick the walnuts. So then once you have this sort of mush pot here, you take the vodka or any sort of clear liquor that has a bland taste by itself, Everclear works as well. You're going to just top it off. And now give it a little stir, or for me, since I can close this off really well, I'm just going to shake it. Shake, shake, shake. And you can already see the color of the liquid is going to start to change to a rich amber color. As you steep it, you're going to notice it getting darker and darker till it's almost a thick, deep chocolatey color. That's going to be kind of when it's ready. So again, 2 weeks-ish. I guess normally I taste it, but I can't taste it yet. Sad face. Update on the Nocino. It's been 2 weeks and it is this dark color. I've already strained it and gotten out all of the walnut and lemon peel and stuff. But now it's time to taste it. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. Cheers, everyone. It smells really pungent and very strong. Oh, it is so strong. Oh, wow. But it's good. It definitely has a lot of that cinnamon, nutmeggy, we didn't put nutmeg in, but that sort of flavor. Definitely a fall drink and definitely one to mix. I'm not a huge fan of liqueurs all by themselves, but ooh, an apple cider with this in it would be really, really good. It does have that lemony taste, but still. Oh, it's strong. Well, there we go. Yeah, and it's really cool because when you rub the black walnut and you get that flavor or that scent of it on your hand, this is that. This tastes like that scent, so that's kind of cool. If you would like to subscribe, stay up to date for all sorts of cool new events and trails to tastings info, you can subscribe over here. You can continue to support me on Patreon and on my website. A portion of all proceeds does go towards wildlife conservation and habitat preservation. So things like this, all this cool stuff, it supports the plants and the planet that you love.